Welcome back to another video, guys. It's been a minute since I made any real videos. Just been kind of busy. Hopefully I get back to a bit more regular schedule, but I'm back with another sort of garage story, if you will. Kind of talking about my experience searching for a used Mustang, going back to right before I purchased my car, which I spoke about in another video. You might want to check that video out, about the time that I drove to Ohio to pick up a Mustang. But I was in the market for another car. I knew pretty much exactly what I wanted to get, though. I knew I was looking for a all-black Mustang GT 0509 era. I was pretty set on that, if you will, but I had a few other things I was looking at too, but for the most part, that's what I wanted. And I had sold my previous car, and I was kind of in between cars for a bit, and I was, just kind of looking around for stuff, but I was kind of getting a little more impatient because I was getting tired of walking to work and stuff, and it's just kind of inconvenient to not have a car. So I found pretty much the perfect car that I wanted. And I contacted the dealer, and it was local too. Part of the reason why I drove to Ohio in the first place was because I couldn't really find anything local, what I wanted, and it was a bit more expensive around here. So I'm going to tell the story of how I almost got scammed, if you will, during my search for my Mustang. I found the perfect listing basically, and I found basically the perfect listing. So I contacted them and they said, well, we do have the car that you're looking for, but we have someone lined up for it. And I said, well, I guess that's okay, because I could go there and I could drive the car and see if it's what I really want. I think it's what I want, but I could change my mind, I guess. Maybe I could drive some other cars there, and you can let me know if you get something similar in stock. And he had mentioned something about a buyer overseas getting this car, and I thought, that sounds kind of fishy. Doesn't really line up. The car's only valued about probably close to $10,000. There's really not any point in shipping it overseas, I thought. So I don't really buy it. I think he just kind of wanted to pressure me into closing the deal quicker, if you will. But I said, that's not an issue. I'm really interested. I'd like to take a look at it anyway. So I drove to the dealership that they gave me over the phone. And I got there, and it was a little sketchy, a little dicey, not gonna lie. But again, don't judge a book by its cover, is what I'm thinking. I said, I know what I want. That's what I came here for. And I found a little office on the lot. And he told me, oh, we don't have the car here at this location, but there's another location about 20 minutes away where the car is. And this is when he reiterated his story. He said, but I have to let you know there is a buyer for the car lined up. And I said, well, again, it might fall through. or I might find something else that I'm more interested in. So I went to the other lot anyway, and I found a guy to let me test drive it. A very nice guy, and we went on a little test drive. And I mentioned to him, after driving the car, it was like basically perfect, but there was a few things that needed to be fixed with the car before we could even talk price. And very nice guy, which I think that was part of the game, if you will. We made some small talk. So we make it back to the office or car dealership after test drive. There was a few minor things wrong with the car. Like there was some broken plastic pieces on the inside. There was a crack in the windshield, that was kind of a big deal. And I think there was like maybe a scrape on the exterior, I believe, I can't remember. And I think I didn't see that on the ad. And there was a piece of the cowl missing. Or I think the cowl was like non-existent. I think it had been removed off the car, and you could tell, which it was kind of misleading from the pictures, because it was like the pictures online were like perfectly staged to hide all this stuff, but it wasn't anything major. I made it clear to them. I said, or to the guy that I was speaking to, I said, I'm still interested in the car, but, and as I got out of the car and I was walking to the office, I noticed that there was a bunch of, every car there had like fresh inspection stickers, that was probably more of a red flag to me than like anything else. Because that made me think they're kind of covering something up, like they probably have some guy that like deals out inspection stickers or something, or they know a guy or whatever. But again, I thought might be able to get a good deal on this, like don't judge a book by this, with exactly what I want. And when I first walked into the office, there was only the nice guy that I drove the car with. And this is when it really took a turn. After driving the car, I sat down in the office with the guy, and this is when I made it clear to him. I said, I want you to know I'm an honest buyer. I'm very interested in this car, but there's a few things that we have to work out before I'm even interested in making an offer. I don't even know what I would offer you. That's when this guy, who I hadn't even seen the first time, I think he was probably the guy's boss or whatever, I don't know, or very sharply dressed, to the point where he was overdressed. Like very nice shoes, very, very swanky guy. Just by the looks of this guy, I could tell he meant business, right? And he brings up the buyer from the UK or whatever, and he says, well, if you're not willing to make an offer, he goes, I have someone very serious who's willing to buy this car in the UK, and he goes, oh, and I can even show you the email, which I didn't even ask to look at. So the fact that he brought that up made me even more skeptical. And again, this guy, the sharply dressed guy, I could tell that there was some sort of cat and mouse game going on, because the other guy was very nice, but as soon as we sat down and started to kind of gravitate towards talking numbers, the sharply dressed guy got in there, and the sharply dressed guy came in, and he was very very pushy. And this is to the point where I started to get uncomfortable. Like I said, I didn't even ask to look at this email, so I thought it was kind of weird that he brought it up. And he mentioned, oh, you know, this is a very nice car, you know, if you're not willing to make an offer on it or whatever. And at this point, I kind of said, you know, I don't feel comfortable here, I'm gonna walk away. And I can't remember the conversation. I can't remember what the guy said after that, but I remember him getting very upset as I left. So, unfortunately, it was a car that I was very interested in, but the environment made me very uncomfortable. They were very pushy. There was only a few things wrong with the car, I'd say. Nothing that couldn't have been worked out. But their pushiness made me so skeptical to the point where I was like, I don't even want to sit down and talk numbers with these guys. So I don't know what they had up their sleeves, but I felt like I just didn't want to do business with these guys. So, and it ended up, on the bright side, I spent about $1,000 more, I believe, than what they were asking for the car. And I got a nicer car with less miles on it. And it wasn't the black color that I wanted, it ended up being red. And it was a whole much better experience. So that brings me to my point. If you're looking at purchasing a car, any car really, and especially really new or used, if you don't feel comfortable, if they're being too pushy, always realize that you can just walk away. So I thought it was an interesting story. It was a very it was something I'll always remember, I think. Just thought it would make a cool video, I guess. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and my little story time. Hopefully more videos to come. If you didn't watch my previous videos, I mentioned the story of how I drove to Ohio to pick up my other car, or the car that I did buy. And I will have some more videos on that car. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great night. Thank you.